I can't go out and make it happen myself. And if you believe that you can make things happen for yourself, then you're a fool, because it'll never happen that way.
Welcome everyone. I'm here with my boy. If you've been following my page, you know a lot about Vernon Davis. If you don't know him, 14-year NFL tight end, superstar, NFL champ, and he transitioned and now he's doing the same kind of work, same kind of killing it, same kind of winning in the entertainment industry. So Vernon, what's going on, buddy? We have a special event tonight. What's going on tonight?
So tonight we're doing a movie premiere for my movie, The Ritual Killer, with Morgan Freeman,
Ooh.
as well as Cole Hauser. I warned you. It's going to be a fantastic night. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to see everybody. And I just want people to enjoy the movie and just watch some of the work that we were able to put in over the course of our time getting the film done. So it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, and I know you've been in the acting game for a minute. You've produced and acted in a lot of films. What was unique about this particular role in The Ritual Killer?
The most unique thing about this role is it was something that I never really expected to take on a role like this, but when I read it, I said, you know what? There's so many different correlations with the script and my backstory, as well as where I'm at presently in my life, losing my mom. And as a kid, I remember feeling like I wanted to stop the madness. And the madness was my mom being on drugs and people I was growing up with who was selling her drugs, right? I wanted to put an end to it. You know, like that superhero who always wants to stop crime, right? Wow. I wanted to be that guy, and I used that to my advantage to really bring out the truth and bring out life in this character, Randoku.
My name is Randoku.
I was able to do that, and it was just, I feel so good about the experience that I had in my past life, because I was able to pull it in and bring it along with me throughout the journey of this character.
Wow, yeah, you know, that reminds me of something. In acting, there's a couple different styles you can do. You can do a method type of acting, which is you tap into your own experiences to get into that character, and there's also imagination, where you just imagine certain situations to tap into a character. So would you say you're more of a method actor? You really tap into your own personal experiences to get into that character?
I don't know if I would actually say that I'm a method actor. I think I just, over time, I've studied different techniques, from Ivana Chubbuck to Meisner, and I find that a lot of it is the same kind of stuff when it comes to the preparation. The preparation is the biggest part when it comes to any material, any script, because without doing the work, you can't fully grasp the character, and you can't really fully understand what's going on. And you have to understand what's going on so that the audience can live the journey with you.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah, you know, this whole story inspires me, and I lived with your manager Henry Pensley for about a year and a half, and I saw a lot of the behind the scenes stuff going on. You know, coming out of the NFL, you were newer to the acting game. What kind of role do you think Henry's had as a manager, and is in general, like how important is team in jumping into a new career and getting it all together?
Without a team, you can't do anything. It takes a team to build a village, to build a building, to build anything at all. It's gonna have to take a team. And for me, that was important to me as I was transitioning from football to the entertainment space. I needed to find a team that I could do what I wanted to do, to help me do what I wanted to do, right? Because I can't go out and make it happen myself. And if you believe that you can make things happen for yourself, then you're a fool, because it'll never happen that way. You know, you have to rely on others to come through, and you put your trust in others. And for me, that team would be manager, business advisor, publicist, bookkeeper, financial advisor. You need all these. You got to bring all these pieces together, especially depending on what it is that you're trying to do. But if it's business and if you're building and you're generating revenue and you're working, it takes a lot of those things that I just said.
Yeah, I mean, living with Henry, I'd see him making calls every day, going a million miles an hour, trying to, pitch you on certain projects, and this is stuff that I didn't even know went on behind the scenes with, a talent doing big things. And the more I saw that, the more I realized how much work goes behind the scenes with a manager. I'm like, hey, what about all your other team members? And Vernon's out there, he's fully booked just doing the thing, right? He's out there performing the jobs. And I think before I saw that, I just assumed that, oh yeah, someone calls you up and you go and do it. But there's so much work that goes behind the scenes. And I've always been a guy that, I'm gonna do it by myself. I'm gonna prove myself that I can do it. But I think that was the most egotistical thing, because after trying that method, you realize you don't get anywhere, right? And if you're going against somebody that has a team, one working on, managing and vetting out projects and pitching you and knowing which producers to work with and which projects to build a career, and on top of all the other departments you said, it's like you have 10 times as much manpower and expertise as if you try and do it yourself.
Absolutely. There's no I in team. I give you I'll take you back to when I was playing football. My coach on every team that I played on, they would always talk about the importance of teamwork, right? Because every now and then you have guys come in who think it's all about them. I used to be one of those guys. I thought I could win games by myself, but you can't do that. You have a quarterback, you have a wide receiver, tight end. On defense, you have the linebacker core, you have defensive line, defensive backs. Like, it takes all of these guys have to come together in order to be able to have success.
Right.
I can't go out and throw the ball to myself. I can't go out and make tackles by myself against 11 other guys. It's not going to happen that way. So you have to think about that in life in general, for everything that you do. You got to have a core group of people to help you get from point A to point B.
How do you go from being the guy who, you were the highest paid tight end in history when you were drafted? How do you go from being that guy with all the attention, with all the skill, to having to share that limelight and having to, work in that team setting, would you say?
But that takes a great deal of humility. You have to be humble. You have to understand that it's never really all about you. It's never about you. It's never about you in sports. It's never about you in life. Everything that you're building right now, everything that I'm building, is going to be passed down to my kids and the ones that I love. Right now, it feels like I'm enjoying the fruits of my labor. Yeah, you're supposed to, but ultimately, you're building it for someone else, because I'm not going to always be here. So just understanding that, understanding the core values of life, understanding that what's given can always be taken away. When you approach life that way, then you grasp the simple fact that your work is all for the greater good of the ones that you love.
Wow, that's really powerful. I'm learning a lot. I'm having a lot of light bulbs go off in my head. And one thing when I look at you and I watch you, continue to grow, personally, I experience fear on a daily basis. Fear is something that happens when you're stepping out of your comfort zone. And I know we look at some people that are experiencing a lot of success and think, oh yeah, they got it all down. They don't experience fear. And I know you completely changed careers. You go from the NFL, then going into acting, but now you're starting to do some music as well. You've had to step out of your comfort zone. What do you feel? How often do you feel fear, and what does fear mean to you, and what's your relationship with it?
Fear to me, fear is To me, fear is when you have a negative feeling about something, a feeling of distress. You feel as if something's not going to work out, like you're not going to make it, you're not going to survive. You feel like you're about to be humiliated. You feel like if you don't do X, Y, and Z, people are going to laugh at you. If you don't do this, you're going to get fired. If I don't do this, I'm going to get cut. If I don't do this, I'm not going to have my position anymore. That's fear. But we can't live life in fear. You can never be afraid of anything. You'll never know if you can accomplish something unless you try. If you don't try, then you'll still remain where you are. Will Smith wouldn't be where he is if it wasn't for him trying to be a rapper, him trying to be an artist or an actor, right? Thomas Edison wouldn't have invented the light bulb if he wouldn't have tried 10,000 times, or over 10,000 times, right? I wouldn't be where I am if I didn't try to play football. All right, so you got to take chances. You can't be afraid, and you're always going to have the fear and the doubt that you won't come through. That's always going to be that. I don't care how high up you make it or what levels of success you reach. I don't care what it is. And some of the greatest of all time on all facets, right? In every genre can tell you, look, when they've gotten to the top, they've had fear. It's just a human nature. It's human nature. You're always gonna have, there's gonna be moments where you feel like you're just invincible or you don't have fear, but there's gonna be times in your life where you feel like you are fearful of things going out. And for me, that would be going out and feeling the anxiety, and being overwhelmed by the simple fact that I may drop a pass. What if I drop this pass? What if I drop a pass in the touch? What if I drop a pass in the end zone? Or what if I don't get my block? It's always the fear. But things never happen the way we perceive them, the way we see them in our mind. When that fear comes in and these things that we're imagining, it never comes to pass because it's all just an illusion to get us off track.
Wow. Yeah, that's something that I always had a misconception of. I thought, the people who are winning, they just don't feel it. But the more and more I talk to people, I realize everyone has the fear. And I also notice there's certain times when I'm constantly facing fears, it then becomes easier to face fears. But if I'm always running away, if I'm always staying in my comfort zone, the fear becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Do you have like a process you do, or when you feel that fear, is there something you tell yourself to just say, hey, keep going, or what? Is there something you tell yourself hey, I'm supposed to feel this way? Or when you go into that situation, you take that first step out of your comfort zone, and you feel that, we all feel it. It's oh shit, am I gonna look like an idiot? Am I gonna fail? Am I gonna get fired? What do you do in that moment to keep pushing forward? Is there something that you tell yourself?
Yeah, I just tell myself, I just self-talk, and it can be various different things that I'm talking about. So I'll be in my mind, I'm just saying, you'll never know unless you try. You only get one shot. Go for it. You got this. And I remind myself that the negative things that are on my mind will never come to pass. I just tell myself that. Just talk to myself. Go for it. Don't be afraid. Go for it. Push it. Push the limit. Get past it. Just telling myself just to keep going.
Yeah, I feel like the graveyard has so many unfulfilled dreams and accomplishments. And I think fear is what holds people back. I think people have so much greatness inside of them that never sees the light of day because they let this self-talk hold them back in that moment of potential glory.
Right.
So for people that are working really hard and just not seeing the results that they want, they have doubt creeping up, they have fear, and we've all been through moments like that. What's your advice to somebody this is on kind of on the verge of giving up, that it feels like they're not making headway, that they might not make it? Like, what would you say?
I think just trusting the process. Every time I've been in plenty of situations where I felt like I wanted to be somewhere, like right now already. But what is it? What is it if you don't have the failures? People denying you, people telling you no, right? People not taking you serious or caring about your ideas, right? Like, we need all of that. We need people to dismiss us. Because the biggest reward comes when, after you've gone through all of those failures, all that disappointment, and all that pain just resides inside your spirit and your soul. So when you achieve the different levels of greatness and you have that success, it feels so much more. It feels bigger, it feels better, right? You're able to have the gratitude and just be grateful for the experiences you've had in life because you made it.
Wow.
And then the tears come about. You cry and you feel like, wow, this journey has been really tough, but I stood in it. I gave my very best, and I didn't give up. And look where I'm at now.
I love that. So it's almost kind of saying like these setbacks and this feeling that we're not going to be able to make it, those are signs of messages not to give up, but to keep pushing, because I love how you say you need this, right? Because if we're going to appreciate what we have, we need to have those setbacks because we fought through the struggle. Man, I really love that. So, speaking of, stepping out of your comfort zone, we have a new song coming out. We talked about Bounce Like This. That's the first one that Vernon came out with. He has a sick music video at Washington Commanders Stadium, which is absolutely dope. But going back to our boy Henry Penzi, Vernon's manager, he made a feature on this song. What's going on here?
It's a song called Running. Henry and I were in LA in the studio that I go to called Golden Impala. So we're going in and Henry was singing a song and I was like, wow, I could use that. But I had to manipulate the words. And so I wrote it for him, and then I wrote my part, and next thing you know, we got a song. It's called Running. Running is about like people who don't believe in you, or people who just really don't want to give you what you want, right? It's one of those things like, you don't give it to me, I'm gonna take it. Like I used to say that all the time when I was playing football. If they don't give me the highest accolade that a tight end could have, then I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna earn it. I'm gonna put the work in, right? And that's what this song is about. It's about like just running away from all the BS, all the noise, people talking this, talking that. It doesn't really matter because I'm still gonna get what I'm going out there, right? I'm just gonna run away from the noise.
Wow, I love that, and that's
running.
Keep running. Yeah, there we go, baby. Well, that's not just talk, because Vernon's doing the exact same thing in his career. He's got his premiere with Morgan Freeman tonight with The Ritual Killer, and we also have another project with Morgan Freeman coming up. What's going on with this one?
Yeah, this next project is pretty cool. I play another villain, actually the son of Morgan Freeman in this movie. It's called Gunner, and the movie's about a father and son who's running this drug operation, right? The dad is arrested and he's trying to run things from jail, and he's relying on his son to come through and hold up while he's in prison. But his son is failing because somehow the operation there was a bust on the operation where they confiscated the product, the drugs that they were selling, and now his son has to do a couple things: try to get his dad out of prison and also prove to his dad that he can trust him, right? But he's failing, and now not only that, he also have to go through a barrier, a wall, which is another guy who's kind of in the way, who wants something that he has. So basically, the guy that I'm playing, the son that I'm playing, I kidnapped it the man who was a part of my drugs being confiscated. He goes to get my dad, and now we have to make a fair trade. Wow. So there's all kinds of little things going on in here.
Damn.
Which is pretty cool.
That sounds like a great plot. Well, yeah, Vernon, I know you're normally the nice guy. You know, the first time I met this guy on the set of Hell on the Border, the most hands down polite guy. But now I'm seeing these villain characters. You got one tonight, and then with this other one, you got some range, man. What's going on? You see yourself as more of a villain or more of a superhero? What do you see?
I like challenging roles. I like the villain. I like to play someone who's struggling with paranoid schizophrenia or just autism, just anything that's challenging. Like it goes back to what we talked about. Like there's nothing greater than a challenge, right? Because on the other side of the challenge is a reward. If you can stand the test of time, if you can hang in there, not give up, and be resilient. So to me, it kind of is in the same. That right there is in the same sector, because I have to fight for something, and it's not easy. It's tough, and I like things that are tough and challenging because I understand the greatness of the reward on the other side.
Wow, that is absolutely powerful. Well, guys, I see Vernon's stylist knocking on the door because he's got to get his swag on for the premiere tonight for Ritual Killer. Are we going the purple suit? Are we going the cream? What are we feeling tonight, Vernon?
Cream. Cream goes with the colors of my tone. Look, I got this caramel, these golden caramel tones in my face.
Hey man, that's the moneymaker right there. So I'm looking forward to seeing those tones up on the big screen tonight, man. So we'll let you get that style, that swag on. So we're looking good for the photos. But my man, yeah, appreciate you, Vernon, and look out for this guy on the big screen. Let's go.
My name is Randoku.